There are some certain cars that I love to buy and sell, and there are some certain cars that I just love to buy and hate to sell. Today's video, one of those cars that I hate to buy and sell is that right there, that Nissan 370Z. WRXs, Subaru STIs, toys. Like, certain toys are an absolute nightmare. I forgot about what a headache they actually are. I'm gonna tell you why. These things, fun. I enjoy buying them, I enjoy driving them, and I enjoy selling them to the people that enjoy buying them. These things, awesome car. So much fun. An absolute nightmare to sell to people. And I'm gonna tell you why in today's video. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. What a freaking headache. Let's get going. Hey, teaser alert, I'm at the auction. Why? Because the Nissan 370Z sold at the end of this video. So stay tuned to the very end to figure out what we sold it for, how much we made. Was it as much of a headache as I'm making it out to be in this video? And where are we at in our Ferrari flip series? I can tell you it's just tremendous where we are at right now. So let's move on with the video. And at the end, we're at the auction. I'm gonna show you some cool stuff. So hey, welcome to Flying Wheels. We are just at the beginning of winter and it is getting cold. And you'll see I have some toys. Why would I have rear-wheel drive cars right at the beginning of winter? Because selling Nissan Sentras and Honda Accords pay the bills, but they're not fun. That's just not fun. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy Audi S4 convertibles and Chrysler Crossfires and 6-speeds and Corvettes and Nissan 370Zs. But this Nissan 370Z is our most recent Ferrari flip, which I have absolutely enjoyed buying, driving, but hate selling. Is the hood open or is that out of alignment? Let's see here. Diesel, guys. I also made my own mistake with this car. Stupid, dim-witted mistake, which I'll show you in a little bit. This car, 2009 Nissan 370Z, made famous by the Fast and the Furious with their 350Z in Tokyo Drift. These cars, so much fun. 3.7 liter V6 in a 6-speed transmission with incredibly comfortable leather suede combo seats. Push to start and wait for it. Now, I've already made 2 videos on this Nissan 370Z. One at the auction where I purchased it for our Ferrari flip series, and then 2, which was us bringing it back to life. Now, it wasn't in rough shape. Actually, it's pretty stock. It's unmodified besides the exhaust, which is what I love. I do not buy like modified toy cars for very specific reasons, which is exactly what I'm talking about in this video. Subarus, if it says any type of modification sticker on it, I stay away. Nissans are a little bit more reliable if you get them in a manual transmission, but anything like tuner related, I try not to buy modified cars because it was someone else's toy, it was someone else's project, and it was most likely abused. So that's just like a red flag for me that I like to stay away from. This car, I love. It's really fun to drive. It has modern technology. So we have Bluetooth, we have heated seats, we have power seats. It's a really, really good looking car. The seats are really, really comfortable. They hug me right into my back. And even though this is a 2009, it looks pretty relevant. Like, this looks like a fairly new car. And what I found out after purchasing it is the value on these is tremendous. There is a huge following on 370Zs. They're hard to find unmodified, which is exactly what I was saying. So if you get a really, really clean, unabused one, they're worth a ton of money and it's very easy to not negotiate. For example, on this car, I have listed it for $17,000 and I'm told it's the cheapest one available this clean. Sure, there are plenty for less with more miles. This is 97,000 miles, but all of them are abused, modified, played with, or they were just generally race cars, which isn't something that you're gonna wanna buy. You don't want someone else's toy, you don't want someone else's project, you don't want someone else's headache that's going to get passed on to you as now your headache. Now, what I do love about my job is that I get to buy and drive these things for a profession. I get to buy what I like and I get to drive it until it sells, which is really, really great. It's a perk of the business. Now, with that in mind, I get to buy and drive these, but selling them is a real pain in the ass. Why is it such a pain, Craig? Oh, I'm gonna tell you why. Because with fun cars like this, you are dealing with kids, little boys. They are an absolute pain to sell things to negotiate with. It's a real headache. A lot of you guys are young guys that love these things, which is probably why you're watching this video. Cool, I'm not judging you. What I am saying is you're a pain in the ass to sell to, especially on Facebook Marketplace. Now, over the summer, we did a Nissan 350Z flip where we bought it, built it, fixed it, cleaned it, and sold it for a profit. It was a great car, it was a great project. But what I learned about that 350Z was how much of a pain in the ass it was to sell the car. Not the car itself, the people. Now the car sold really, really quickly, which in fact, this one did too. We have it sold as of now. We have a deposit on it holding that it should be selling tomorrow. And both times I got my asking price because the market is so big on tuner cars, like fun toys that are affordable, that you can pretty much say, no, the price is the price, and get your money for it and make a decent profit, which I have to say I did on my 350Z. And if this one sells tomorrow, we did on this one as well. Early the next morning, I drove my kids to the bus stop in it. I then got a phone call, was distracted, and apparently forgot to pull my emergency brake, and some ghost sitting in the passenger seat decided to pop it out of first gear into neutral and let it roll down my driveway. So I guess I never set my emergency brake, and this happened. Bummer. Wow, that really stinks. Now, had the steering wheel been cocked straight, it would have gone straight into my skyline. Left would have been my Audi, right would have been that Eagle Talon right over there. Luckily, the steering wheel was cocked to the right and it went right into that car. 1, 2, 3, 4 choices, and it luckily hit my parts car, and that is the damage, which is still a huge bummer. But out of all the cars that it could hit, that is the one that I wanted to hit, so I can't even be upset over a stupid mistake that I made. Luckily, that's the car that has the damage and not that one, which is the teaser into our next video. Perfect segue into how to protect yourself. You will see that guy right there. So what's neat is the 70mi Omni isn't just a dash cam, it's actually a driver assist, which is voice operated and it's sensor operated too. So if it's hardwired into your car, which is an additional kit, a hardwire kit, it'll actually be motion detected. If somebody comes close to your car, it'll automatically turn on for you even when you're not near the vehicle. It connects directly into your phone. You can see what's going on through the camera on your phone. The 70mi dash cam Omni is the industry's first 360-degree full view dash cam. It's equipped with AI motion detection and equipped with best in-class night vision as well. It also has 24-hour parking surveillance with time-lapse recording. It achieves a 60 frame per second dynamic vision, which effectively solves the problem of motion blur. It also has smart voice control. During driving, you can control the device to take photos, shoot emergency videos, record in different directions. I use it in my truck because I plow, I tow with it. This is something that's definitely mandatory because owning a business can come with a lot of liability. There's a direct link in my description down below. It's a must-have for anybody that's driving all the time. Thank you, 70mi Omni camera. I really like this one, so go check it out with the link right down below. Okay, so I have listed that car, but unfortunately, we have had a minor incident, and now I have to get that car fixed before anybody shows up because my emails and my phone calls and my messenger is blowing up with people that want to look at this car. So we have to fix that bumper ASAP and try to blend it. So everything that it did to the Eagle Talon, it dented the fender, broke the taillight, bent the bumper. This is all that happened to this bumper. Small dent right there that popped right out. And then Rasul used some, what'd you use, goof off? Goof off. Wiped some goof off on it, got it all off. And now we're gonna use some diamond cut compound and some polish, but I'm gonna have to paint this. Again, we'll have to sand it down and blend it. Okay, you'll see the Z is painted, the bodywork is done, and it is primed. This is a tri-coat, meaning a base coat, a pearl coat, and a clear coat. I'm gonna spray all three on there, and I'm gonna blend it into the bumper. With what? I'm not gonna use a spray gun. I'm gonna use a detail spray gun. I'm gonna spray it on very lightly, because I don't need a lot of paint to blend that into the car. So you'll see I have my base coat white right here, I have my tinted pearl right there, and then we have clear coat to go over it as well. So I have my white mixed right here. Just gonna pour some white. I don't need a lot of white. That's all I have right now. And that right there is the finished product blended into the bumper. Huh, nice. Now, as of last week, this car was ready to sell. We bought it in medium condition. It wasn't rough, but it wasn't retail ready, as we call in the biz. So I had to polish the headlights, which was a lot of work. We had to sand down, completely smooth, get all the crust and the film that has been created over the headlight for quite some time. We brought those back to life, and I was astonished with how nice those came out. Then the wheels were dead flat black and dull and faded, and just, I wanted them to pop. So we removed the wheels from the car, we sanded them, we prepped them, and then we painted them with a satin black, which made them pop, but gloss would have been too bright. So the satin was the perfect finish for these wheels and really complemented the car well. And then after we did a full inspection and services on everything that it needed for inspection, we then did a final detail where we detailed the inside, we washed it, we waxed it, and we polished the entire car, put the wheels back on it, and boom, the car was near perfect. And the public is really, really difficult to deal with sometimes. But the perk of this job is I get to pick and choose who I want to deal with. I know if I buy a Honda, who I'm dealing with. I know if I buy a Toyota, what demographic I'm dealing with. Same with pickup trucks, same with Corvettes, and now I'm reminded of what it's like to be selling Nissan 350 and 370Zs. Now, I cannot tell you how many children, like under the age of 18, are interested in this car and want to buy it and stop by with their friends for amusement to come by and see this car and try to test drive it. Now, guys, I don't blame you. When I was that age, I used to stop by car dealerships and see who would let me take their cars out so I could abuse them. I get it, and I don't blame you because you're young and you want to have some fun, and I'm old and I still want to have some fun. So I'm not knocking you for it. But on the seller end, it really sucks because every single day I have a kid stop by my shop asking for the keys to the 370Z so they can look at it, so they can kick the tires, and then they can try to go for test drives, which isn't allowed. Well, what do you mean it's not allowed? I can tell you exactly what I mean. If it was a Honda Accord or a Toyota Corolla, come on by. Show me your proof of insurance, show me your driver's license, let's go for a test drive. Corvettes, Nissan 370Zs, anything similar? Proof of funds, cash in hand, or pre-approval is needed upon test drives. I don't have the time in my day to just let every tire kicker that wants to stop by and joyride a 370Z go for a ride. I don't do it. People get really, really pissed about that. So pissed, in fact, that they get offended and leave negative reviews because you won't let them take your car for a test drive. Now, with stuff like this, I preface to everybody ahead of time before they show up, listen, if you're serious about this car, bring cash or show a pre-approval or certified funds in advance if you want to go for test drives. Nobody does that. And then when they show up and they say, I want to go for a test drive, I say, okay, show me the cash, show me the proof of funds, show me your pre-approval. No, I don't have that. Well, we need that, I told you that. Well, how am I supposed to get it pre-approved if I don't even know that I want to buy it yet? Well, if you're serious enough to drive 3 hours from Connecticut to New Hampshire, you're probably serious enough to get it pre-approved and not waste your time. We do financing in-house, or you can just show me your bank account that says you have enough money to afford this car. So it is a firm policy that you cannot take this car for a test drive unless you are a seriously qualified buyer. It saves my time, it saves my car's wear and tear, and you know what? It cuts down on the tire kickers well in advance. Now, I had mentioned people get pissed about that because they drove here to tire kick my car, to go for joyrides, and when I tell them no, they get upset. Perfect example. The night I listed this on Facebook Marketplace, which was a mistake, I got hundreds of, is this available, and will you take 10K cash offers? But somebody actually did say, hey, I'm seriously interested in this, I have the cash, I want to come out for a test drive. So through Facebook Messenger, I respond with, absolutely, you're welcome to come for a test drive, show up with the cash, or we need some type of pre-approval as well as proof of insurance if you want to go for a test drive. The next day he shows up, I was at the auction, my manager Jesse took all his information, he wanted to go for a test drive, she needed proof of insurance, he didn't have insurance. Now, I can't let you take my car without any type of insurance. He wasn't happy. So he got really upset with her, and Jesse called me and said, hey Craig, this guy's really, really upset in the parking lot because he can't go for a test drive. I called him and I'm like, hey listen, just company policy, we need proof of insurance to go for rides because we have kids that stop by, they're tire kickers, they want to go for joy rides. At least having them show proof of funds and proof of insurance cuts that down. I don't know who you are, I'm not saying you are or are not just going for a joyride, but company policy, that's what we require. So he said, well, I don't have insurance. So I said, yeah, but you've been telling me that you have a WRX STI this whole time that you just sold and you can afford this car, right? Yeah, I did. So yeah, just show me the proof of insurance for your STI and you're good. You can go for a ride. Well, I don't have insurance. I sold the car. Okay, well, what about the Chevy Colorado that you have? Show me the insurance for that. We're good. Oh, I don't have insurance on that. So I'm like, so you're driving around in a car with no insurance? Yeah, your state doesn't require it. I'm like, yeah, they don't. But what happens if you get into an accident and kill somebody? Like, don't you want to help take care of them and their family? He's like, that's on them. I'm like, okay, great. So the same idea is for us. I don't want you to crash our car and then just walk away and say, hey, sorry, right? That's the idea. That's why we require proof of insurance. So he got upset with me. I was very calm, very collected, and he got mad at me and said, you know what? I wish I did take this car for a test drive because I would wrap it around an effing telephone pole and I would get out of the car and leave it with you. I'm like, yeah, all right. So that's exactly why we require insurance, to cut down people like you. You just proved to me why we do what we do. So thank you for that. Clearly he wasn't a qualified buyer. Now that is one example of the many examples just on this car. Now over the summer I had a Nissan 350Z that I had mentioned that we redid and listed for sale. That car, the ultimate PIA, because every kid and their mother wanted to come look at this car and nobody showed up with cash. I had it listed for $6,500. I can't tell you how many $2,500 cash offers today I got for it. I ended up getting my price of $6,500 after feeding through all the wasted time. So was it worth it to deal with everybody to get my money? Yeah, I guess I did really well on the car, but to get to that point, it's really, really difficult. So talking about selling this car and getting offers, Facebook Marketplace is the ultimate PIA because it is just way too easy to send cash today offers and then never respond. For example, I'm gonna randomly click on the first one. Asking $16,995, message is, would you take 12? Let's keep going. Lowest question mark. That's their negotiating skills, is lowest question mark. I responded with the price and they said can't go any lower. I mean, you guys, some of these people just stink at negotiating. Like, be polite. You know what? Hey, listen, I have a budget. Would you consider my budget? I know it's lower than you're asking. It's just like consideration and just goes so far. Next one. Clean title? Yes, clean title. Car looks great, man. Just realistically, 17 is too high. I'll do 13.5. I think that's just more fair. No thanks, 17 is right. There aren't any others like it around, like for this. Hey man, let me know, 13.5 and I'll come up from New York. Yeah, of course you would come up from New York 5 hours for 13.5 because it's an absolute steal. Okay, let's talk about trade-ins. People want their trade-ins, right? They want to trade in their car for me, or mostly straight trade their old high mileage cars for a straight trade for me, which is wild. Like, it just blows my mind that people think this is acceptable. So we have a V6 Camaro. Here's the car right here. Yeah, that is pretty riced out. I don't know if that's a racist thing to say. If it is, I apologize. 6-speeder auto. So it's an automatic. So it's a 6-cylinder automatic, which is a bummer. Title's clean. I just want to trade. I don't understand. What do you want to trade for? Your car isn't worth $17,000. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Your 6-cylinder automatic Camaro that is riced out isn't worth $17,000. How much is mine worth? And how much cash? I have $500. So he'll do his car in $500. So that's cool. What's the lowest you take? The price is fair compared to what's around. I want to negotiate because this is going to be for drift. Dude, buy a beater for a drift car. You don't make this a drift car. Whatever, that's on you though. And don't negotiate if you're trying to make a beater like this car. You have the money to buy it, or you go buy a beater. So I wrote, buy a beater. This is too nice for a drift car, which it really, really is. It would be sad to see this thing banging into walls. Lowest you'll take. Cool. Hey Alex, cool, look at this one. $16,995. Is it available? Yes it is. I offer you 10K. Awesome, where's the other 7K? It's only an offer, terrible offer. For 97 miles, you have anything else to trade? No, too bad. I was gonna offer you half of what you're asking for yours. Here's what happens too. So I can sound slightly rude to people, right? It's because, like, yeah, one time you're fine. But if you like take a needle and you get pricked once, like, it's annoying, right? Yeah, but you can tolerate it. But if you keep getting pricked by needles over and over and over, eventually you're going to lose your top and blow up. And that's what Facebook Marketplace does to people. It pricks you just a little bit with pricks over and over and over. Pricks keep pricking me until you can't get pricked anymore and you lose your mind. Hey, will you take 11? Come on, what's the lowest you'll take? Honestly, your offer was so ridiculous that we probably can't even meet somewhere if that's your budget. Shows you what a good salesman I am. Oh, this one's my favorite. Here we go. Trades? Yeah, we accept trade-ins. What do you have, a 335i? Mileage, 128K. Manual or auto? Manual. It's 2008. Nice. What's the trade-in value on your car? I'm not quite sure. Can you send me the VIN? No, 1-to-1 trade. Sorry, that's not happening. That's like an $8,000 car retail. I've bought a ton of those and they're modified to hell. They're awesome, but they're a headache. I don't need that one's headache. Yeah, not happening. That's like an $8,000 car retail. His 08 335i is not comparable to this car. So is your Z, and it's not with this spec. Thanks anyway. I will gap that beat Z. That's the response. Cool. I didn't know we were racing. Is it available? Yes, it is. Ghosted. It's available? Yes, it is. Would you take 13? Rear wheel drive, right? Yes, Marvin, it is rear wheel drive. And then just lots and lots of wasted time. 10K cash? Thanks, Vasquez. No, thank you. Lots of is this availables. And my favorite is the one-to-one trades. So I got an offer for an 07 Mustang GT with 186,000 miles, and it's an automatic. So I said, yeah, miles are high, but I can take it in trade. It's probably worth $5 grand, and that might be high. And he said, no, I was hoping we could straight trade. So he wants his 07 180,000 mile Mustang to trade for my $17,000 Z. It's just exhausting. So we have a check here for $17,000. I went to pick up my son from school, came back, car's gone, check's on my desk. Pretty great. So the car's sold. So even though it has been a headache to sell over and over and over, to like listen to people and make ridiculous offers, we got our asking price after like 2 weeks, because we actually sold it a week ago. They left a deposit and came and picked it up this week. So 17 G's, that's pretty awesome. And on a slow month right now, we need that stuff. By the way, check out my office/showroom. So if you remember my little office, it used to be this big. Well, last night, the 370Z sold for $17,000, $16,995 to be exact. Let's figure out where we're at right now. We had $83,000 before we bought the Z. We paid roughly $10,000 with all expenses, so that puts us at $73,000. We bought an Audi S4 for $2,500, about $500 into it, so now that puts me at $70,000. I also have a Corvette that I think we spent around $12,000, so that would put me at $58,000, I believe. Gee, this math is getting confusing now. $58,000. I sold the 370Z for $17,000 last night. So add 17 to 58. That makes a grand total of $75,000 and an 04 Chevy Corvette convertible and an 06 or an 07 Audi S4. $75,000 and two really amazing cars. And I can tell you, right after I cashed the check last night for the 370Z, I bought another car for this Ferrari Flip Series, teaser, if you look around my surroundings. And I can tell you it shares the same engine as a Lamborghini Urus. That is all I'm going to say. So that will be coming out probably next week. I'm at the auction. Let's see what I bought today. I love auction day, and I haven't had one of these in quite some time. I probably shouldn't have, but this is a 2001 Porsche Boxster with 74,100 miles. The thing that attracted it to me is manual transmission. Gen Z anti-theft device. These cars are pretty fun, and for 74,000 miles and to be this clean, I thought was well worth it. Didn't look at it before, which is something I don't suggest doing. Typical Volkswagen Audi cup holder that doesn't work. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cool. Broken. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's start it up, see if it runs. Now in this video, I talk about Nissan 370Zs and tuner cars, how they're not fun to sell, and it's because of the buyers. But what's cool is, like, yeah, the buyers are a pain in the ass, but it's usually like their parents that will buy them the car. So I sold the 370Z for full asking price. And the other option is, like, they have full-time jobs and they're young with no responsibilities, so they'll finance the hell out of a car, pay full asking price. So we did pretty well on that Z. Let's see if the top works. Here, heated seats. Where's the button for it? Does the top work? They never do, and this one does. So I'm the high bidder for $7,500 on this car, which I think is high, but for a clean Porsche with 74,000 miles, that's probably right. I think I like it. I hope I get it. And even with the small 6-cylinder, these cars sound incredible. Here's my other purchase for the day, a 2018 F-150 XLT Sport Crew Cab with 123,000 miles. Now is the time to be selling trucks. It is truck season, and I can tell you, I scored this thing. This is a great truck, and it's probably already on my website if you're watching this video. Oh, look at the tire tread that goes up the seat. That's pretty neat, and all the way into the back. Now, I gave you two teasers. The Porsche Boxster may or may not be a purchase today. It is an if. I was the high bidder. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. The other is a car that shares the same engine with the Lamborghini Urus. I would love to hear your guesses down below. Teasers, you'll find out in the next video. If you like this one, if it was entertaining at all, thumbs ups are always appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.